So, it's official. X-Men Dark Phoenix is a box office bomb. The conclusion to this era of the X-Men franchise sees it open to just a pitiful $33 million in the first weekend in the United States, and it's raked in just $136 million worldwide, according to Box Office Mojo. The film is set to lose over $100 million. The X-Men film series has been a Hollywood juggernaut for 19 years now. I loved the first two films, and I actually thought the third one wasn't as bad as a lot of people made it out to be. First Class was awesome, I enjoyed the Wolverine, Days of Future Past was epic, Logan is one of my favorite films, and the Deadpool movies were brilliant. So what went wrong with Dark Phoenix? Well, firstly, I don't know many people who were really all that interested in going to see it in the cinema, actually. There was nothing about the marketing and the trailers that drew me into this film. Now, since the Captain Marvel debacle, I don't put too much stock in the Rotten Tomatoes scores, but as you can see here, Dark Phoenix has just 23% on the tomato meter and 64% for an audience score, just 6 out of 10 on IMDb, and a Metacritic score of only 43. The Dark Phoenix comic book storyline is one that really needs some time to truly be fleshed out. I think, similarly to X-Men The Last Stand, the problem with this latest X-Men release was that the filmmakers tried to do too much in one film. For example, IndieWire reports that Dark Phoenix was originally planned as 2 movies, but Fox CEO forced a summer release. The latest X-Men movie is based on one of the franchise's most famous comic book storylines. One writer-director, Simon Kinberg, wanted to adapt faithfully after botching the first Dark Phoenix movie adaptation as co-writer of 2006's X-Men The Last Stand. The events of X-Men Days of Future Past rebooted the film franchise's timeline and allowed the Dark Phoenix story to get another go-around. Deadline reports Kinberg was planning a 2-part Dark Phoenix movie in pre-production before 20th Century Fox changed its mind and ordered just one movie. Kinberg rewrote the script to accommodate the change, so this may have contributed to compromising the overall quality of the story. There were also a lot of reshoots and changes to the movie, along with the release date being pushed back several times. Some fans have questioned the suitability of Sophie Turner in the role of Jean Grey, and whether she was cast largely because she was a big star in Game of Thrones. Dark Phoenix also wasn't helped by the fact that the previous film, X-Men Apocalypse, was really bad, although it was likely considered to be an anomaly at the time. But the lessons from that film's failure don't really seem to have been learned. Now, I'm probably just being overly nostalgic for the first 3 films, but I have to be honest, I never really warmed to the younger prequel X-Men cast. I think First Class was a nice novelty and a decent film, but I always preferred the original trilogy cast, and I loved seeing them all in Days of Future Past again, especially having Hugh Jackman back for that one. Uniting the 2 casts really worked. But to me, Professor Xavier will always be Patrick Stewart. Magneto will always be Ian McKellen. McAvoy and Fassbender are great, but it's just not the same. I think when Apocalypse failed, that maybe audiences weren't all that interested in seeing this prequel cast come back and do another one. It also probably doesn't help when your film inserts eye-rolling levels of wokeness like this scene, where Charles and Raven are having an argument.
It's funny. I can't actually remember the last time you were the one risking something.
Seriously, I'm fairly certain he put his life on the line in First Class and was crippled when a bullet penetrated the base of his spine, hence the wheelchair. Also, how can he risk all that much these days? What with the fact that he's in a wheelchair? Also, in Days of Future Past, he did get seriously wounded when he successfully talked you out of taking a violent action that would have led to the development of the world-destroying Sentinels in the future. This is how bad and illogical the writing gets when the filmmakers are too busy trying to push a female empowerment message rather than telling a good story. It feels like she's saying, Charles, you never do anything around here. I do everything. I always have to bring in the groceries from the car. I'm in a wheelchair. I had to carry boxes up the stairs all by myself. I'm in a wheelchair. And whenever I'm putting up shelves in my bedroom, you never help, Charles. You never do anything. I'm in a wheelchair. You know what, Raven? You're right. You're right. I'm wrong. I'm awful. Smash the patriarchy.
And by the way, the women are always saving the men around here. You might want to think about changing the name to X-Women.
Oh boy, yeah, that gender-neutral language. It's gotta be ex-women, otherwise it's offensive. Hello, like the language is like totally not gender inclusive or whatever. Charles, when are you going to change the name from X-Men to X-Women? Or X-People? That'd be amazing! Yeah, this kind of politically correct garbage is definitely not getting old or anything. Reminds me of that Batwoman trailer.
I'm not about to let a man take credit for a woman's work.
I'm not about to let an X-Man take credit for an X-Woman's work. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on X-Men Dark Phoenix. Where do you think it all went wrong? Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.